labeling and identity in the multicultural world. There are two keywords here. The first one is labeling. We will talk about labeling for this week and identity, the next one. Labeling basically means what people call another. So it can be what other people call me or us. It can also be the way that I call myself or ourselves, okay? Identity means what people think of another. So it can be what other people think I am, or think who we are, or what I think I am. That would be self-identity, okay? And we will talk more the next week. We can first see two posters here. Can you see the upper title? We are a culture, not a what? Not a costume, right? These two posters share this title. We are a culture, not a costume. Can you guess what kind of culture this girl has? You see the poster she's holding in front of her. Can you guess the nationality of this girl? Japan, right. She could be a Japanese. And how about the boy here? He doesn't have a poster in front of him, but you see, you wear the costume for what? For one day, I suppose. I wear the stigma for life. That is who I am. That is my culture. Okay? These are two posters where you can see in the campus. And what is the issue targeted in these posters? What do you think the issue is expressed in these posters? And what is the main message conveyed in these posters? That would be how you label one, okay? You think that one person is a Japanese. You maybe want to pretend that you are a Japanese and you do some costume for one night, but that is for life, for her or for him, okay? And are you familiar with any of these situations? You pretend that you are from another culture. No? All right. We can see a TED Talk. Who do you think this girl is from? Probably she's African American. Probably. I don't know. We can listen to the talk for a few minutes. The title is Color Blind or Color Brave. You do have a choice between color blind and color brave. And it seems that we have an internet problem. I need to fix it.
So it's 2006. My friend Harold Ford calls me. He's running for U.S. Senate in Tennessee. And he says, Melanie, I desperately need some national press. Do you have any ideas? So I had an idea. I called a friend who was in New York at one of the most successful media companies in the world. And she said, why don't we host an editorial board lunch for Harold? You come with him. Harold and I arrive in New York. We are in our best suits. We look like shiny new pennies. And we get to the receptionist and we say, we're here for the lunch. She motions for us to follow her. We walk through a series of corridors, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in a stark room. At which point she looks at us and she says, where are your uniforms?
Can you see what happened to her and her friend? Can you guess who her friend is? what kind of nationality or race her friend is. We can listen to it again and see the interaction, the dialogue between this woman and the waitress in the restaurants. She said one thing, and the waitress considered it as another thing. Let's watch it again.
Suits. We look like shiny new pennies. And we get to the receptionist and we say, we're here for the lunch.
What did she say? We are here for the lunch, right? And the waitress, what did the waitress do?
She motions for us to follow her. We walk through a series of corridors, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in a stark room. At which point she looks at us and she says, where are your uniforms?
What did the waitress say? Where are your uniforms? So, what did the waitress interpret her sentence as? We are here for the lunch. Do they come here to eat or to serve? Right? Why did the waitress misinterpret the sentence, we are here for the lunch? Judging from what kind of characteristic? Stereotype. And what kind of characteristic? From the appearance, color of her skin color, not her clothes, right? She dressed up for the fancy restaurant. However, the waitress misjudged her as some kind of madam in a restaurant, right? So that is her personal experience. And what is her reaction?
Just as this happens, my friend rushes in. The blood drains from her face. There are literally no words, right? And I look at her and I say, now, don't you think we need more than one black person in the U.S. Senate? Now, Harold and I, we still laugh about that story. And in many ways, the moment caught me off guard. But deep, deep down inside, I actually wasn't surprised. And I wasn't surprised because there's something my mother taught me about 30 years before. You see, my mother was ruthlessly realistic. I remember one day coming home from a birthday party where I was the only black kid invited. And instead of asking me the normal motherly questions like, did you have fun or how was the cake? My mother looked at me and she said, how did they treat you? I was 7. I did not understand. I mean, why would anyone treat me differently? But she knew. And she looked me right in the eye and she said, they will not always treat you well. Now, race is one of those topics in America that makes people extraordinarily uncomfortable. You bring it up at a dinner party or in a workplace environment, it is literally the conversational equivalent of touching the third rail. There is shock, followed by a long silence. And even coming here today, I told some friends and colleagues that I plan to talk about race, and they warned me. They told me, don't do it. There'd be huge risks in me talking about this topic. That people might think I'm a militant black woman and I would ruin my career. And I have to tell you, I actually for a moment was a bit afraid. Then I realized the first step to solving any problem is to not hide from it. And the first step to any form of action is awareness.
Right. So, to the event where the waitress in the restaurant misjudged her and thought that she probably is a madam in the restaurant, what is her reaction? Did she take it well? Yes or no? Yes or not? Well, what did she say about the event afterwards?
Series of corridors, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in a stark room. At which point she looks at us and she says, "Where are your uniforms?"
Now her friend rushes in.
Rushes in. The blood drains from her face.
都已经没有血色了，很不好意思。他的朋友请他来这么高档的餐厅吃饭，然后他的朋友比较晚到嘛，那他邀请过来的2个客人竟然被当成是 waitress， 他很不好意思，整个那个血色都没有了。OK， 他血色都没有了，这个是他的朋友的反应。那他自己呢？他被这样子对待，他自己的反应是什么？
There are literally no words, right? And I look at her and I say, now, don't you think we need more than one black person in the U.S. Senate?
这个美国国会里面还需不需要一个黑皮肤的参议员呢？我们应该要更多这样子的人来为我们发声 ，Senator。Right， 就跟我们的立委一样，跟我们的议员一样，可以帮民众发声 ，voice for them. Okay, they have the power to stand up and voice for the people who couldn't do that. All right.
Now, Harold and I, we still laugh about that story.
So, is it going well or not? Actually, not really well, but they are somehow accustomed to it. Okay, they laugh about it. All right, that's okay, because we know that could happen. We know that. We have prepared ourselves since our childhood. All right, how do her mother prepare her? All right, let's see.
And in many ways, the moment caught me off guard. But deep down inside, I actually wasn't surprised. And I wasn't surprised because of something my mother taught me about 30 years before. You see, my mother was ruthlessly realistic. I remember one day coming home from a birthday party where I was the only black kid invited. And instead of asking me the normal motherly questions like, did you have fun or how was the cake? My mother looked at me and she said, how did they treat you?
Right? Why? Why did her mother ask this kind of question to her? Why?
Because they will not always treat you well.
May not, probably not, right? So her mother cares about that because her mother is realistic, 很现实的，她知道就是可能会这样子的。You can't avoid that, so you have to prepare your daughter for the situation to happen, all right?
I was 7. I did not understand. I mean, why would anyone treat me differently? But
Why? It could happen. So her mother do that for her, to prepare her.
she knew. And she looked me right in the eye and she said, they will not always treat you well. Now, race is one of those topics in America that makes people extraordinarily uncomfortable. You bring it up at a dinner party or in a workplace environment, it is literally the conversational equivalent of touching the third rail. There is shock, followed by a long silence. And even coming here today, I told some friends and colleagues that I plan to talk about race, and they warned me. They told me, don't do it. There would be huge risks in me talking about this topic. That people might think I'm a militant black woman and I would ruin my career. And I have to tell you, I actually for a moment was a bit afraid. Then I realized the first step to solving any problem is to not hide from it. And the first step to any form of action is awareness.
Do you remember the title for this talk? Colorblind or color brave? Do you want to choose to not look at it? Do you want to pretend that you do not see the difference? Or do you want to step out and say something about it? Even though that you know well that this is a controversy, but you step out and say something about it.
And so I decided to actually talk about race. And I decided that if I came here and shared with you some of my experiences, then maybe we could all be a little less anxious and a and a little more bold in our conversations about race.
Right? Imagine that if I want to talk about Amis, I want to talk about how Amis drink all day, don't really have a decent job. That is not well. But what if 张祖淼先生 or 头目 came out and said that this is our tradition and this is how we do things in our culture? People will not think that he's doing something offending the culture, right? On the contrary, people would buy it. People would believe it. 因为我不是阿美族的人，所以呢，我讲的东西很有可能人家就认为是一个冒犯。阿美族人自己站出来说啊，我们会喝酒，我们会怎么样，没有关系。同样的 ，she's an African American. She is the perfect person to talk about the culture, to talk about race in the U.S. All right? That is the reason why she chose to stand up and talk about race, this topic, in front of so many people, viewers around the world.
Now, I know there are people out there who will say that the election of Barack Obama meant that it was the end of racial discrimination for all eternity, right? But I work in the investment business, and we have a saying, the numbers do not lie. And here, there are significant, quantifiable racial disparities that cannot be ignored in household wealth, household income, job opportunities, healthcare. One example from corporate America. Even though white men make up just 30% of the U.S. population, they hold 70% of all corporate board seats. Of this Fortune 250, there are only 7 CEOs that are minorities. And of these thousands of publicly traded companies today, thousands, only 2 are chaired by black women. And you're looking at one of them. The same one who not too long ago was nearly mistaken for kitchen help. So that is a fact. Now, I have this thought experience that I play with myself, experiment. And I say, imagine if I walked you into a room and it was of a major corporation like ExxonMobil, and every single person around the boardroom were black, you would think that was weird. But if I walked you into a Fortune 500 company and everyone around the table is a white male, when will it be that we think that's weird too? And I know how we got here.
All right. Remember how we say that when you want to persuade other people, you have to organize your speech or your talk in a way that general information followed by specific details, and then concluded by general information. So how did she do it? How about President Obama? Is it the end of racial discrimination? Maybe not. So that is her general information. Racial discrimination does exist in today's US society. This is her general information. And how about the specific details? What is mentioned to support her general information? Sorry? Right. Their salaries, household income, okay? Or when you walk into the bank and you see the CEOs are mostly white people. When would be the day that when you walk into the board and you see the majority as African American instead of white people? When would be that day? And that she concluded by the general information.
I know how we got here. You know, there was institutionalized, at one time legalized discrimination in our country. There's no question about it. But I still, as I sort of grapple with this issue, my mother's question hangs in the air for me. How did they treat you? Now, I
Right. So although in general her life is successful, but she has some personal experience concerning about the racial discrimination. So she decided to stand up and say something about it, right? That is the reason why. And we will see another case, which is real news event, just happened a few months ago. Do you know this boy here? Anyone knows the story? Judging from his appearance and his name.
He made a clock, and the teacher said it is a bomb.
Yeah, the teacher suspected that the boy made a bomb in hiding in the look of a clock. Right. And what did the school do? They called the police and arrest the boy here. Right? We can see something behind the story.
14-year-old high school student arrested for bringing a homemade clock to school. His teacher thought the device was a bomb. The backlash to his arrest was swift online. The hashtag #IStandWithAhmed quickly becoming a top trend. With responses from Silicon Valley to the White House. Ahmed Mohammed is going to join us in just a moment. First, ABC's Ryan Owens has the story.
This high school freshman loves to tinker with all things electronic, but his latest invention got the 14-year-old.
Okay, we have some problem with the internet. While we are waiting, we can think about the issue behind this news. What is the issue? Sorry? Race discrimination. Right? Do you remember the 单一故事的危险性 that the invited speaker talked about? What is it about? 单一故事的危险性. What is the TED Talk about? Anyone remember this TED Talk? 单一故事的危险性. The speaker is from... Sorry? Right, Nigeria. And what happened to her? The storybook that the speaker read since her... Right, are all written by white people, probably in the UK. So she talks about stories with snows, with Christmas, right? With changing waiters. How's the waiter today? That's bizarre because in Nigeria, waiters are always the same. Okay, 单一故事的危险性. You only hear one side of story, only one source, and you put stereotype into this culture. 单一故事的危险性. So when you see this boy here, let's see if we have the video back or not. Probably not. I think we lose the computer here. Right. Anyway, so as Ivy said, this boy was arrested because he made a clock. And the teacher thought that it could be a bomb. Judging from his name and probably appearance, they thought that maybe he has some connection with terrorists. That is horrible. That happens in a school that is judged not by a restaurant waitress, but a teacher. When a teacher, oh, good. We have that back.
Texas. Take a look at his homemade digital clock.
But listen to it.
Wires and circuit boards inside a metal case. He built it at home to impress his teachers, but one of them thought it might be a bomb and alerted authorities.
That's a very
send things like that to schools.
But arresting a 14-year-old?
I think this wouldn't even be a question if his name wasn't Ahmed Mohammed.
Police say they are not charging Ahmed, but they are standing by their initial response. So are school officials, who suspended him for 3 days. This morning, he's something of a techie superstar. Twitter inviting him to intern, Google asking him to their science fair, Mark Zuckerberg wants him to visit Facebook, and even the President of the United States tweeting him, "Cool clock, Ahmed. Want to bring him to the White House?"
Want to White House, my friend? Yes.
Ryan Owens, ABC News, Irving, Texas.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. And now we're going to talk with Ahmed Mohammed. He joins us outside of his home in Dallas. So good to see you and get a chance to talk with you, Ahmed. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to design this clock and bring it to school.
I brought the clock to impress my teachers, and I guess when I did show it to her, she was kind of scared when she saw it. She saw a clock, but in her opinion, it looked like a threat to herself.
Right, when we are waiting for the internet, we can talk something more about it. So what is the issue reported in this news? 单一故事的危险性. You judge someone from his appearance, from his name. And what has the other people react to this news? For example, President Obama. What did President Obama do? Yes? He tweets something and invite this boy to come to White House to visit, right? Because he's such a talented boy. And what did other people do? For example, Facebook also invites him to come and visit. They recognize his talent. They do not think that appearance should be the most critical thing when you judge one, right? So this is what other people react and why people should care about it, okay? So we just went through the story. And now we have a video. Before watching this video, there are a few questions that we can ask. The first one, what are the key words that moved your heart the most? Why? When you watch the video, please take notes for the keywords that move your heart, okay? This is the first one. And the second question, what is the main issue targeted in this video? What is the main message expressed in this video? And what is the metaphor? The singer here is called Prince E. And he used a metaphor to refer to skin color. Do you think the metaphor is used effectively? Why or why not? All right? Let's hope we can listen to this song here.
I am not black. I mean, that's what the world calls me, but it's not me. I didn't come out of my mother's womb saying, hey everybody, I'm black. No, I was taught to be black. And you were taught to call me that, along with whatever you call yourself. It's just a label. See, from birth, the world force feeds us these labels. And eventually, we all swallow them. We digest them, accept the labels, never ever doubting them. But there's one problem. Labels are not you and labels are not me. Labels are just labels. But who we truly are is not skin deep. See, when I drive my car, no one would ever confuse the car for me. But when I drive my body, why do you confuse me for my body? It's my body. Get it? Not me. Let me break it down. See, our bodies are just cars that we operate and drive around. The dealership, we scars for the rest of our lives. Forgive me, but I fail to see the logic or pride in defining myself or judging another by the cars we drive. Because who we truly are is found inside. Listen, I'm not here to tell you how science has concluded that genetically we're all mixed and race in the human species doesn't exist, or how every historian knows that race was invented in the 15th century to divide people from each other and it has worked perfectly. No. I'm not here to lecture. I just want to ask one question. Who would you be if the world never gave you a label? Never gave you a box to check? Would you be white, black, Mexican, Asian, Native American, Middle Eastern, Indian? No. We would be one. We would be together. No longer living in the era of calling human beings black people or white people. These labels that will forever blind us from seeing a person for who they are, but instead seeing them through the judgmental, prejudicial, artificial filters of who we think they are. And when you let an artificial label define yourself, then my friend, you have chosen smallness over greatness and minimized yourself, confined and divided yourself from others. And it is an undeniable fact that where there is division, there will be conflict, and conflict starts wars. Therefore, every war has started over labels. It's always us versus them. So the answer to war, racism, sexism, and every other ism is so simple that every politician has missed it. It's the labels. We must rip them off. Isn't it funny how no baby is born racist, yet every baby cries when they hear the cries of another, no matter the gender, culture, or the color, proving that deep down we were meant to connect and care for each other. That is our mission, and that is not my opinion, that is the truth. In a world that has sold us fiction, please listen, labels only distort our vision, which is why half of those watching this will dismiss it or feel resistance and conflicted, but just remember, so did the caterpillar. Before it broke through its shell, it became the magnificent butterfly. Well, these labels are our shells, and we must do the same thing so we can finally spread our wings. Human beings were not meant to be slapped with labels like groceries and supermarkets. DNA cannot be regulated by the FDA. We were meant to be free, and only until we remove them all and stop living and thinking so small will we be free to see ourselves and each other for who we truly are.
No matter how many times I watch the video, it always moves my heart, right? What is the title for this song or this rap? Let's see the title here. What is the title?
I'm not black, you're not white.
I'm not black, you're not white. So maybe everyone can say one word, one key word that moved your heart. All right? We can start from here.
Label is just a label.
Label is just a label. Love, the ending of everything, right? Love concludes it all. Right? Be myself. We need to be ourselves. Sorry? Without discrimination. That is true. Sorry? Right. We need to rip off our labels. Uh-huh.
Label is not me.
Label is not me. It is a what? It is like a what?
Just a label.
It is just a label, right? We were one. We can work as one, yes. We are together. We are not what? We are not labels, exactly. Right, yes, yes. We need to care for each other. Claire? We are one, yes. I'm not a label, exactly. Right. And what is the metaphor used in this song? I'm not a what?
Bad.
Sorry? What is the metaphor 就是那个譬喻 okay? You want to express something that other can understand more easily. All right? So race is not so easy to grasp. So
Test drive, we were forced to own these the car for me. But who we truly are is not skin deep. See, when I drive my car, no one would ever confuse the car for me. But when I drive my body, why do you confuse me for my body?
what is the metaphor used here? Car is to body or the color, the appearance of one person, right? You are forced to drive this car for all your life. That is the label that others put on you, okay? So in our handouts, we see a lot of different people, but they can join together because of love, because one cares about another. And there are two statements that I think we can discuss for a moment. The first statement is that from birth, the world force feeds us these labels, and eventually we all swallow them. We digest and accept the labels, never ever doubting them. Do you agree or not? Not agree. Perhaps we can express our ideas by standing on stage. So I have strongly disagree, and agree. And behind the screen, we also have strongly agree. About Prince E's statement, the world force feeds us labels. We digest, we accept without doubting them. Do you agree with the statement or not? Can you all stand up and express your opinion? If you strongly disagree with the statement, you stand here. Disagree. So this is more likely slightly disagree, slightly agree, and strongly agree. Can you all stand up and express your ideas? Cast your votes. Let's see how many people strongly disagree with this statement and how many people disagree. Yeah, you can write your name there. Yes. You can write your name down below the category, and you can write, yes, thank you. See how many people agree with the statement. Okay, so most people agree or disagree with the statement, but not too strongly. Okay, it seems that most of us agree with the statement, right? And only 4 people disagree with the statement. Can everyone who agree with the statement come and gather here and share your thought? This is your general statement, right? And you have to provide specific details, examples to support your statement, okay? So those of you who agree with the statement, can you all stand up and come here, all right? And discuss what kind of evidence or details or personal experiences or the news, the events that you know of can support the statement that you agree with, okay? You can spend a few minutes and discuss it with other people. And we have 4 people here, right? Rita, oh, okay. Right. You can also discuss the details, the reasons underlying your disagreement with this statement, all right? Maybe 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes. And when you finish it, you can write 3 most convincing details here. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And for you, you also come up with 3 convincing details here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so the first detail is?
Critical thinking
Yes.
Have your own sort of thinking. You don't
Right.
have to just
is accept all the
accept what others say.
Right, you don't have to follow the crowd.
Yeah.
Right, the first one. And the second detail, which support your opinion?
Europeans or Americans, Westerns, they would think the Asian is conventional,
Right.
but our thoughts can't be just. They can say that we are conventional because some thoughts can be valued.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes our technology is even better than the Westerns.
Right. So the people from one culture can defend their value to another culture.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, this is the second detail. And the last one? Or Christy?
I think we are not so blind that we never ever doubted the label. Because after we grew up,
Right.
we can learn to think and to doubt the thing that is not really true.
Right.
So we are not so blind that never doubting the label.
Right. We learn as we grow. We learn as we experience more and more things and met more and more people in our life, and we can change our minds. Right. Sure. Can you all? One of you stand up and write your details on the board? Okay. Yes. So the first supporting detail is?
First impression.
Right. First impression, yes. You do judge people from the first impression, yes. And the second one?
Taiwan's education.
Yes.
That
Students space to do something, they want to try something new, and the teachers don't agree.
Indeed.
Also calls a single story because
Right.
we only studied about our reference book but not other books, so we only have one information source.
Excellent. Please, 3 supporting details. Excellent. Okay. Yes. We have 1 more minute before we take a break. Oh, 10 minutes, 10 seconds actually. Okay, so maybe we can take a break here. If you come up with the third one, then you can take a break, all right? All right, so we have, most of people agree with the statement that we accept, digest the label that others gave me without doubting it. And the 3 supporting details are: first impression does exist. You judge one person when you see him or her at the first sight. Yes, this is the first supporting detail. And Taiwan's education. Is there anyone who wants to share with us and elaborate this point? How about Taiwan's education? What's wrong with Taiwan's education?
Teacher always gives students only one answer, and they don't have chance to
Yes. In our education, teachers always ask, which is right, which is wrong? This is the correct answer. There's no fuzzy point. But in reality, we do have fuzzy points. Not everything is right all the time. You have to see the situation, the circumstance, and to further cast your thought. All right, so this is the second supporting detail. And the third one, why we don't strongly agree, we are still arguing about it. Okay, right, and about this point, is there anyone want to elaborate this point? The third detail, the third one. Yes? No? Yes? Oh, right. Jack.
There are still some exceptions. There are still some people that can sing out of the key.
For example?
For example, even though there are some, a kid's parents try to stop him doing something because of label. Kids won't stop. Some kids won't stop doing that.
Right.
They won't stop doing that what they really want. So maybe there are something that can be label, and I think it's determination.
Right, determination.
Yeah.
We should not be determined.
Yeah, if we are filled with determination, maybe we can break this label.
And do you think that this is a supporting detail for your statement?
Yeah.
Is it supporting your agreement?
Yeah, because we are not strongly agree, we are just agree.
Oh, okay.
We need to explain why we
Right.
only strongly agree.
Sure. So in the case of slightly agree, maybe 2 out of the 3 agree with the statement and 1 maybe a little shaky about it, maybe. Okay, and so for disagreement, anyone want to elaborate the 3 points from your group? Joseph?
The first one, critical thinking, because when others people say you are just blah blah blah, but you can deny it. You can think if am I really wrong or they just don't like me.
Right.
Yeah. So we can think. We are not. We can be defined by others.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the first detail, and the second one?
The second one is because the topic said from birth the world force feeds us these labels. So I think that Asians are not always conventional because the Westerns sometimes or often say that Asians are conventional because due to our values or the government. But I think the values cannot be judged only by someone's values are better or someone's values are worse.
Right. So you were saying that you can't judge us just because we are Asians, and Asians are thought to be more conventional and accept others' view unconditionally, right? And the third view, the third detail, Christy, please.
As you can see, the third sentence of the statement is that we never ever doubt the labels. But I think that as we grow up, we can learn more things, and as we learn more things, we can think more. So we are not so blind that we never ever doubt the label.
Yes, yes. So we learn more when we see more things and meet more people. Yes. And the fourth one, we also have A final supporting detail by Joseph in Chinese it is also okay. Can you elaborate that, the point?
I heard it from a movie.
Yeah, which one?
叶问第二集.
Okay. And Ye Wen said?
Just like what I wrote. Because in the situation is that Ye Wen is fighting with a boxing champion.
Mm-hmm.
And the champion doesn't treat the Chinese well. And he discriminated the Chinese.
He did.
In the end, Ye Wen won the fight. And when the reporter is asking him some questions, he answered it. So I think that maybe 人的地位 includes maybe you are my boss and maybe I'm just your worker, but you can't just deny everything I think.
Right.
Sometimes our thoughts are valuable, can be used, and 人格 is the 道德的部分.
Dignity, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, this is my opinion.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, there is a video where 9 adults watch the song and express their opinions. On the blackboard, you express your ideas, your view, supporting by details. Maybe some are more shaky, some are not. But here, there are 9 adults. After they watch the video, they are asked 3 questions. One is, what are your initial thoughts after watching this video? And what do you think of Prince Yi using his talent in this way? We talked about this earlier. When we visited the tribe, the urban tribe of Ameizhu, we talk about how we can help them using our talent or what we learned, right? And the adults were asked, what do you think this person, the way of this person uses talent in helping other people or promoting the issue? And what is the message that Prince Yi was trying to convey here? We can watch the video here. And please pay attention to whether they agree or not agree with the Prince Yi's view.
I am not black. I mean, that's what the world calls me, but it's not me.
I think I've seen like other videos about this guy.
I didn't come out of my mother's womb saying, hey everybody, I'm black. No, I was taught to be black. And you were taught to call me that, along with whatever you call yourself.
That idea of like I'm just a person. Don't label him.
It's just a label. See, from birth, the world force feeds us these labels.
Oh, wow.
And eventually, we all swallow them.
That's right.
Digest them, accept them.
Everything is based on a label, no matter like what.
But who we truly are is not skin deep. And I'm not going to tell you how
This is very cool.
genetically we're all mixed in. Race of the human species doesn't exist, or how every historian knows that race was invented in the 15th century.
I love seeing all the different people.
And it has worked perfectly. No, I just want to ask one question. Who would you be if the world never gave you a label?
Dude, I'd be Alex.
A box to check?
Who can check just one box?
Mexican, Asian, Native American, Eastern Indian? No. We would be one. We would be
Oh, yeah.
We would be one.
That's right.
Together. No longer living in of calling human beings black people or Just like in nurseries and supermarkets, DNA cannot be regulated by the FDA. We were meant to be free, and only until we remove them all and stop living and thinking so small will we be free to see ourselves and each other for who we are.
It's a beautiful.
Right. So in general, do you think these adults, these 9 adults, agree or would disagree with what Prince E says in the video? Probably agree. So that would be the general information. In general, they agree with what Prince E says in the video. And how about the details? Please pay attention to the detail, why they agree with the statement. So coming up, who is this guy? Can you see his name from the PowerPoint? So who is this guy? This is Jonathan. Okay, so let's listen to Jonathan's reaction.
For who we are.
It's a beautiful sentiment. I can't afford to be colorblind because people don't look at me that way. There's certain labels that I choose to identify with. I say that I'm Chicano. I say that I'm queer, and I'm not afraid to say that I am those things because it's important.
Did you get the details? He says, I choose not to be color what?
It's a beautiful sentiment. I can't afford to be colorblind.
I can't afford to be colorblind. I won't hide what I'm seeing here. Okay? And?
Because people don't look at me that way.
People won't let me do that way. I can't do it. I have to see the differences among people. All right? I can't be colorblind. And
certain labels that I choose to identify with.
There are certain labels that I choose that I'm identified with. What are the labels that Jonathan chose?
Saying that I'm Chicano, I say that I'm queer, and I'm not afraid to say that I am those things because it's important.
Okay, right. And he's not afraid to say that he's Muslim. Muslim. That is the label that he puts on himself. Self-identity. We will talk more the next time. Okay? There are certain labels that you want to put on yourself. And that's me. So, what's this lady? Her name is Christine. And what Christine say?
It was beautiful. I love the message. I think that it's really touching.
I like this because it advocates in favor of a unified world.
It was so emotional for kids are affected by family or society. No kid is looking at another kid and thinking like they look different. It's the message we need exactly right now. This thing in our country about labeling, it makes me so angry.
This is video by.
All right, so they were asked about their first impression, their first thought after watching the video. And generally they said that the message is beautifully expressed. And they agree that infants, babies, do not see each other differently. All right, they cry when other infants cry.
I have Prince E, who's a spoken word artist who's making content on topics ranging from politics to the environment. What do you think about him using his talents in this way?
I think it's great.
Don't listen to your speeches. If you put it in a poetic and almost like
said in the past, and you're like, dude, I suck.
So many people use their talents to further themselves in their career and don't have much to say. People have run out, facing so much adversity, seeing so many horrible things, and they want somebody to basically speak on their behalf, because not everybody has a platform.
What was the message that Prince E was trying to give?
So, what does Prince E do?
He made his speech as a song.
Right. So he basically makes his living as a songwriter. Okay? And because of this talent, he tries to express these thoughts in the form of songs or poets. And what do these adults think? Is it expressed effectively? Yeah, because the supporting details?
It's different from those boring speech.
Right. If you listen to the boring speech, you won't pay attention to it. But through these beautifully written words and phrases, you memorize because they are memorable, okay? And you reflect on how you express these thoughts by yourself. Here, you express your thoughts. And now you can think about how others express their thoughts, how you can learn from them maybe, all right? And?
Well, there was the labeling, cultural diversity, just peace, overall peace.
And then that's just about labels and social constructs.
Not label people anymore because it's silly, you know? We're all one.
Know that labels make you short-sighted, see past that label and see the whole person.
We are the ones that put labels on each other. We don't come with labels. It's a great message. Is it realistic?
Have you yourself dealt with your race impacting any aspect of your life?
Oh yeah, many times. My whole life.
Not race, but I am Jewish, so I have definitely dealt with several situations of pretty extreme anti-Semitism. When I was in grammar school, I had a friend who lived about 8 houses down, and her parents did not allow her to play with the Mexican kids that lived down the street, and that was me.
I've seen it, you know, myself, you know, moms clutching their child to their side when they see my son that's tall and brown. He will physically try to shrink himself down, and it's not because of anything he has done. It's all external.
They see me and they look at my hair and they kind of prejudge me, a little bit, but once they get past it, they see I'm just a regular person, I'm not just a stereotype.
I'm Middle Eastern. I remember being in middle school and putting Asian because the Middle East is in Asia. And my teachers would be like, you're not Asian. And I'm like, okay, so what am I? You're telling me to check a box, but no box fits me.
Some have said about
So all of them, almost all of them support their opinions by their personal experiences, right? You want me to check the box. Who am I? Where I come from? I don't have the box to check, okay? So they support their experience, their view with their own support, their experiences. So I really hope that in your group project or here, you can go deeper, deeper, deeper down and think how what you see, what you read, what you hear can support your view. All right? So 9 adults here agree with the statement. However, as we can see here, we also have 9 reasons why this video makes no sense. On this website, you can read the full article. I really admire this passage because he or she elaborate the reasons why he doesn't agree with this video. Okay? So he says here, when you come back, when you go home, you can read the article. But it says that, so this is background information. He provides the background information for those who may not be familiar with the topic. So he mentioned the viewer, the number of the viewer, and then how he feels. Folks, there's the real reason why this video went viral. Okay, he explains why, and then we've broken down why we don't particularly like the message in the video and what we think the actual problems are instead. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 9. All right, and also at the end of this website, others respond. Okay, this is what we are doing with English in the real world. We collect information. We express our thought and support our thought with details. And then we can debate with others. Solid debate. Okay? So this is what I would like you to do for your projects. Many of you have submitted the group project today, and no, just yesterday. And I look at it. Well, many people have done a great job, but some have to revise it a bit. And this is the reason why we can spend a few minutes for discussion, okay? Remember, GSG here, general statement, specific detail, and general summarizing words. Always, when you want to express your thought, remember GSG. And we can think about the cases that we look over today. We have the TED Talk. What is the issue? And the background. The lady described what she was treated in a restaurant. This is the background, okay? General information. And then literature. We can see what others did about that, and the strengths and the drawbacks. So on Moodle, I prepared a sample here. I believe some of you have seen it. The issue here, infants can cry due to feeling uncomfortable while traveling. This is the issue, okay? You narrow down the scope of your issue as much as possible, because the narrower, the deeper, okay? And background, you search for information, either in Chinese, in English, all right, as much as possible. And literature, about this issue, what others have done. So for example, JetBlue has done something. And also case 2, there's also another case. And for these two cases, you critique, not only about strengths, you also critique, mention the drawbacks for these actions. All right, this is what I'm looking for in the projects. So I've extended the deadline for the preliminary survey. Some of you may want to revise a bit, okay, and resubmit it before Sunday. And we can spend about 10 minutes discussing what each of you has prepared or your group has prepared for the preliminary report. And each group select one issue only. And you can work more until the next Thursday. And one member from each group can submit the group report before that. Okay? This is the 2 things that we can do and submit it to Moodle. All right? The first one is here. The deadline has been extended. And the second thing is here. You submit it to here. And finally, tomorrow, we have the proficiency test. Do you remember the time and the location?